He said, I think I have a lemon. I said, no, you actually have a heat pump. It's a... He did not think that was as funny as I did, but I said, no, it's not a lemon.
That's a t-shirt idea right there.
It's not a lemon. It's a heat pump. What's up, HVAC crew, trade crew? Dennis here, HVAC R&D, powered by Keystone Sales and Associates, your premier PHVAC manufacturer's rep in the Mid-Atlantic. Well, it's just the two of us again, bud. So I'm pretty pumped about this show. Me and Rhydon only, pre-AHR. We got a lot coming at you in a short amount of time, so without further ado, let's get it going.
Yeah, come on.
Well, that was not as sultry as the last one.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on.
I'm always wanting to know. I can always tell what mood you're going to be in from the yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on.
All right, I got to move these peanut M&Ms. I literally can't sit them here.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
It's the shareable bag, too.
Is it the shareable one with the zipper on top? Or the...
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, there we go. Or Ziploc, not the
It's
zipper.
probably like $12. I stole them from Corey.
Man, that kid's hard-working money.
I think his girlfriend got them for him. He's fine.
Kept man, I like it.
He's right. Well, no, yeah, and we're in the gym, and he is not really eating any sugar, no caffeine. He's getting ready for the old Cancun trip we're taking.
Nice. Well, so welcome back to the show, everybody. As you heard, Dennis is taking all of us to Cancun. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what date we leave, but buddy, you just be sure to let me know, and I'll be there with bells on. Let's go.
Yeah, sit tight and just hold on. I'll send it out to you. Out to you. Yeah,
perfect.
I can barely afford to take my family on it.
And then I'll start seeing the pictures, be like, man, where was didn't get the memo there.
Right.
You just left me here. So, welcome back to the show, everybody. Excited for a little bit of just the two of us.
Oh, yeah, that's coming back.
There it is. Please make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at hvac.rnd. Also on LinkedIn at hvacrnd, as well as Facebook. And on Trade Hounds. The Trade Hounds community continues to grow. We are very appreciative to everybody over there.
Where are we at?
We also want to... let's see.
Trade Hounds.
Let's go see.
So
waiting for my blue check, Trade Hounds, guys. Come on. Give me that blue check. 1408.
Okay.
So all 1408. Right. Kicking on up there. Also, thank you to our Vendor Hub partners, which you're going to hear a bit more about the Vendor Hub in a bit. But BetterHelp, Chirp, Service Titan, our good friends at One Thing Marketing. Hope you guys listened to Brittany's show last week. She will also be with us at AHR next week. We also have potentially some other partners in the works, so stay tuned to that. Also, for all other information, please check the link tree in the bios of our social media. And usually at this point, I introduce somebody, but I don't know who to introduce right now. So,
Oh, sorry.
so
I thought we were starting to drink. Oh, so you hadn't done that yet?
I guess we are. I don't know why, but that just made me think of a soundbite from Family Guy, and I just want to be like, Peter, did you spill your beer? Well,
No
what are
beer.
you drinking? What are you drinking, D?
So I am drinking I'm trying this Winking Owl Chardonnay from,
Ooh,
yeah, well,
you sharded.
Aldi. I swear it's I think it's $2.98 a bottle, man.
Dude, Aldi's got some good wines at a very valuable price. Trader Joe's isn't bad either. They've got a Pinot Grigio that's like $2.98 a bottle. It's probably like $5 now after inflation. But
Right.
I used to go.
This is pretty
I'd go-
good.
Nice.
Yeah, trying to get away. I know Tracy usually does the Riesling. Way too sweet for me. We'll try this Chardonnay out. This Chardonnay and these peanut M&Ms.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's a good
Melt in your
combo,
mouth, not in your hand.
right? God, we're plugging everybody.
I know, right? So, I am drinking an Edmund's Oast.
Uh-oh.
It is a sour boysenberry plum
Oh, I've had that
sour
one.
ale. I think you drank it on the show one time, which is funny because I remember I was like, "Hey, I got one of those in the fridge."
Yep.
So let's
So where are they out of again?
Charlestown.
That's right.
Charlestown. We're going to Charlestown. Edmund's Oast Brewing
Edmund's
Co.
Oast. Yep.
6.5% alcohol per volume. Oh yeah, here it is. Brewed and canned by Edmund's Oast Brewing Company, 1505 King Street, Charleston, South Carolina.
There's some good bars on King Street, or food places.
Oh, that's pretty good. Good, smooth, not too sweet. Berry bite's not super bad. That's a good one right there. Boys in Charlestown know what they doing.
We gonna start doing a 1 to 10 rating on the beer, maybe?
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. I would say
You get one sip, so we have to do it like Barstool Sports pizza review. He gets like 2 bites and he has to just spit it out between 1 and 10.
Oh, trust me, if old Portnoy wasn't doing the pizza review, I would have done that. But there's no way on earth I'm gonna beat him with it now.
No.
So, so out of 10,
Yep.
I would say it's a solid 6.8.
All right.
Good, solid, drinkable.
Yep.
But had a whole lot more that were worse.
Pool beer, no pool beer.
Not pool beer.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little stout on the content there.
Rated
All right.
on the shard.
I mean, for the price, it's a
Yeah, take the price out of it.
it's a 15. No, I actually haven't had very many Chardonnays, so I'm definitely not a wine connoisseur. I mean, I think it's a 6 though. Drinkability.
Okay. Solid.
Is that like serviceability? Installability?
It's a good topic. Good topics. We'll be talking about some stuff like that on Tuesday if you come by the Rude Ring booth. No, excuse me. Actually, I'm lying. It is now on Monday. My bad. Sorry, schedule guy got it wrong. Monday,
Right.
12 o'clock at the Rude Dream Family of Brands booth. I believe it's B2219. A little early on that plug, but there you go, everybody.
Right. Sorry about that. Yep. All right, so we got well, let's catch up. What have you been So I swear, everybody, we will be getting, after AHR, we are going to get right back in the saddle with some installers and we actually got some heavy hitters coming on the show.
We do.
Some installers and some service guys, which is our bread and butter, right? That's what got us here. Nothing against a lot of our manufacturers folks and some of our supporters, but they want they want us to get some techs on here.
Yep.
And who buys their product,
And that's who we deal with on a day-to-day basis are, the technicians and the guys that are out in the field.
Right. So yeah. All right, what have you been working on?
So I had annual sales meeting a couple of weeks ago. I actually recorded a bunch of stuff I was going to try to make content out of, and I just never even got to it.
Dude, you can't.
It's been busy.
You know how much stuff I got on my phone that I'm like, oh yeah, I got to make a post with this, and then
I know.
It never happens.
Yeah, so much
happens. But
good 2-day rah-rah session. Getting ready for 2023. Got a small little award for 2022. Not the biggest one I've gotten, but I was grateful. Had a really solid opening 8 months of the year. The last 4 were a little rough. Thank you, SEER 2 changeover. Thank you, Department of Energy. Yay! But so we went to the old stomping ground up in Cherokee at the Harris Casino. It's the first time I've been a place playing craps without Dennis in forever. Which was weird.
Did you got on a table?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I did.
I have not been able to catch a table.
Yep, I did. Had a good time. Won $40. So put 300 in, got 40 out. Excuse me, 340 out. Promise I didn't lose that much. No, I won $40. I only played for about an hour and a half, and man, I was bushed, dude.
Was it that light up table?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
because they only had one regular craps live table going with a $15 minimum, and it was packed, and I didn't want to stand around forever to get in there. I don't know why
they don't open up tables, man.
And then they had a crapless craps table open with a $15 minimum that was slam packed, and I got the only open seat that was on the digital table.
I love how you can. So this table we're talking about, the table lights up, but there's no chips on it, right? It's all digital. No. So at your section where you're standing, you got a little small screen where you bet, but you actually throw real dice.
Yep.
It's I don't know. Of course, I've done pretty good on it, so I like it.
You've done well on it, and the guy that rolled before me crushed it. So he was the reason I was up like $100 and something bucks. And then I rolled like 7 times. That was it. I think he hit 38 or 39 rolls. He was crushing it. He kind of got me a bit out of the hole because the couple of people before him were train wrecks. So he got me out of the hole, and then I got a little bit more up on myself, and then gave back 64 across and got out at 340, and eventually winded up headed to the Waffle House at 1 a.m. with a buddy, and then knocked out. Always good. The beauty is that the Waffle House is a very short trip. It actually, I think, was a longer walk to the car than it was from the casino to the Waffle House.
Isn't it straight across the street?
It's just straight down that road. I literally lived there so long I can't think of the name of the road because I just know it.
But yeah, Waffle House, you can't go wrong there. It's always the same.
We did We did go check out the bowling lanes, so we bowled while we were there. I hadn't actually bowled since they opened those a couple years ago. That was fun.
How'd you do on that?
I did terribly because I honestly didn't try because I didn't want to jack my arm up before I went to the craps table.
Oh, jeez.
I was just like, yep, just chuck that down through there.
I love bowling.
Oh, it's fun. Like I said, since I knew I was going to go get on a table, I didn't want my arm to hurt like a son of a bitch the whole time.
Well, we've had a interesting week over here, the old Wilkins house. So Corey has gotten in officially into the music school, Hayes Music School of App State. So that's where his major, we didn't know what we was going to do if he didn't get in that. So he is in there. He had to audition to get in there for percussion. So he is ready to go tonight. After I get off this show, we are going to book his, or sign up for his housing, get his dorm rooms going, and start stroking some checks.
Like it.
Stroking some checks for some college. But yeah, he's pumped. So that's good. He's looking forward to that. On a technical note, so this is an HVAC.
Actually, sorry, I have to back you up. Back you up real quick. Please, you got to tell these people how proud we are of Corey for standing up to his person and not letting him practice.
Yeah, so at the high school, he's in marching band, he's in winter ensemble, orchestra, he's in jazz band, he's in, all this stuff. But so for his audition for App State, he had to play a timpani, which are 4 giant kettle-style drums on wheels that nobody has at their house. I don't even know what those cost. $10,000 maybe. A mallet keyboard piece. He had to play that. They had to play a snare piece. But so he's been trying to practice at the school on these instruments, after school, this and that, whenever they can let him get in there. So he's in there practicing. And he just got started, and one of the band teachers comes in there, and he's like, "Hey, we gotta bring the freshmen in this room so they can practice on something." And Corey's like, "No." And Corey's a good kid, so he don't talk back much, and he kind of just said, "Okay, that's cool." So Corey leaves. They go in there, mess around for an hour, whatever. They come back to get Corey, and they're like, the teacher's like, "All right, you can get back in there." And Corey just, I don't know, it didn't hit him right, and he kind of let him have it. He's like, "Look, high school is a stepping stone, and you guys are kind of here to prepare me for college. And I got an audition tomorrow, and you just ripped it out from under me here." So, and Corey was telling me this story, and he was worked up. So I think it was a pretty heated conversation with the teacher, which he never does. And the guy went to fist bump Corey, and it's like, "All right, man, well, sorry about that." And Corey did not fist bump the teacher. He's like, "No, man. I mean, that was just not cool. Like, in a ton of ways."
Yeah,
that's what y'all are here for. So, very similar to sports, right? Like, the good kids are, essentially, you want to think the teachers are there for the kids, but a lot of times they're there for their program, right? Because that kid's going to move on. They're still going to be there. But you're kind of forgetting what you're doing, what you're there for to begin with. You're supposed to, high school is a stepping stone. You got to get this kid ready to go. I was thinking they were going to be like, "Yeah, whatever you need, that's awesome. You're going up there, you're auditioning, whatever time you need." But it was impossible for him to get in there. They would not let him in half the time. Just a shit show. So, Corey told me, he's like, "Yeah, I think I need to go apologize to him." I said, No, I think we're going to let that one ride, bud.
Yeah, I think that one needs to soak in a little bit.
Yeah, let it simmer on him a little bit, if not forever. It's fine with me, you know. Corey's never late. He's always early. He stays late. He don't miss anything, and then he wants to get like 2 hours of practice in, and they just can't seem to let him do it. So that's a big F then. Plus, we're about $6,500 in on a high school band this year, so
yep,
they owe me a little something.
Yeah, they can let the kid practice for a couple hours,
right? So yeah, I had a. I guess it's everybody knows at some point on this show that I'm a trainer for Bosch, the Bosch product, and do a little tech support for them too through the rep side, not directly, but so I had to do a little site visit, 2.5 hour drive to, I think it's Sanford. Is it Sanford? Is that towards?
I don't know. I was not there.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty sure that's what you told me.
Yep, towards Raleigh. A little bit older unit, probably 3 or 4 years old. Get out there, they've had some just intermittent stuff. But something happened to me that's never happened to me before.
Which is saying a lot.
I get out there, I'm checking static pressure. We go through everything. I'm turning it on. The homeowner, which I'll get into in a second, was a lot. He was a lot. But he's the reason I was there usually. But get out there, check static pressure. We fire it up. I go through the stat. I defaulted it out just kind of so I can set it up, see what's going on. Well, when I'm under there checking static, I just popped the cap off the old P-trap there. It's I think it was a 3-ton outdoor, 2-ton air handler. Popped the cap off the P-trap. I looked down in it, and I'm like, God, this thing is slammed shut. Obviously, we don't need it for the wintertime, but the guys are squatting down there next to me, and I'm like, man, we need to blow this drain out, man. Y'all are going to be back over here this spring. I said, are y'all doing a maintenance on this? They're like, no, we don't know. I'm like, guys. Oh, get this. They're offering this homeowner 5-year labor.
Dude, we'll go into this later. I had a meeting with a contractor today. That's doing 5-year labors. Guess
what? They don't maintenance this product. They're not maintaining this guy's house. If I'm giving a 5-year labor,
yeah, no joke,
I'm going to be out there with a toothbrush. Like, it's not going to break, basically, right? It's got 10-year parts, but so anyway, I'm like, 5-year labor? They're like, yeah. Which I think is because of the homeowner once again. But so yeah, I said, we got to blow this trap out. So we go back inside. I'm setting the stat up, and that guy's like, I'm going to blow the P-trap out while y'all are doing this. I said, all right. I asked the homeowner if he had any bleach. He's like, sure, I got some bleach. I said, yeah, pour that in there, let it sit a minute, and then just hit it with some nitrogen. So, yep.
Normal procedure. Not thinking about anything else.
We're talking about 10 foot of PVC goes out the side of the crawl space, right? Not far. Well, where do you think they run that drain line? They ran it right out there with the line set, which is okay. That's fine. I go back outside, take the panel off the outdoor unit. I squat down. I'm going through the board, put it in force heat, see if it'll ramp up, just see what it'll do. And about that time, he blows the drain out.
Oh, geez.
And literally covers me. I'm literally squatted down. It's coming out at the line set, and it doesn't have an elbow on it. It is a straight super soaker of bleach and algae and whatever else. Everybody knows what's in the old P-trap. So it drenched me and the board. We're staring at the board. The board's just, I've got my finger on it, and as soon as I push the button to force it into heat, he blows the drain. I literally thought the refrigerant lines blew out. I mean, that was the last thing on my mind was the drain. You know what I mean? I forgot he was even under there. So I jump up, and he's still just going to town with this nitrogen, you know, and it's just blowing. It is blowing shit all over the board. We're talking about an inverter drive board.
Oh,
So
geez.
I'm like, I get up. I mean, I jump up like I'd been bit. I look down like I just knew the refrigerant lines blew out. And I went, oh, it's the drain. And then I look at the unit like, uh-oh. It throws a code and then just shuts down. I'm like, well, my job's done here.
Oh, God.
And the guy's looking at me. So there's two of them there. One of them's under there doing that. The other one looks at me like he could have just died. Like, so keep that in mind. Now, so I reach over there, pull the disconnect. I'm like, okay, pull the disconnect. Let's talk about the homeowner a second.
Oh, God.
This homeowner hit me coming down the driveway. Like, man, I'm glad the Bosch rep's here. I'm like, okay, well, you know, he's already trying to put me in a corner, and nobody puts baby in a corner.
Nope, nobody puts D in a corner.
So he comes, he's like, yeah, so we've had all these problems. We've had this. They've been out here 25 times. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot of times they've been out here. He's like, we've had all these problems, and he goes through these problems, and they're all just like not mechanical. Problems. Yeah, they're not problems, right? You know, the temp goes up sometimes more than we got it set 1 degree. When I come back, it's right, and it's just on and on and on and on with all this random stuff. And I'm just trying to humor him, you know. And then he's like, you know, we're rolling up on year 3, and I mean, I do have a 5-year labor. And I went, whoa, you got a 5-year labor? He's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, that's pretty good. Like, that's unheard of. I said, 1 year's pretty standard. 2 years is a 2 years is a big plus.
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, well, yeah. I mean, I said, no, 5 years is a lot. He goes, yeah, but what I'm worried about is when, you know, well, of course, when that runs out, when that labor runs out, and then, you know, the warranty runs out on this unit, like, are we still going to be stuck with all these problems? I'm like, okay, that's 8 years, and then that's 5 years. Like, dude, I don't know what to tell you on that. Like, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
So, you know, we say
ask that question when you bought your fridge.
When we say evolve or dissolve on this show, with the changes of equipment coming, the homeowners are changing rapidly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he said, I paid 10 grand for this thing. And I went, okay. That's also a deal. But
yeah,
he's like, I paid 10 grand for this thing. And you can't tell me that it's good to go and not break for 5 years, 10 years. I'm like, no, I can't.
Nobody can. It's mechanical.
He wanted me to so bad. He said, so after today, when you go over this thing, you can't tell me what it'll do next week. I said, no, I can't. I said, you got overhead power. The house was built in 1955. It's an inverter product. He said, well, my other system. I said, I know your other system didn't do it. It was a 9-seer.
Yeah.
It had 4 parts total, counting the indoor and the outdoor.
Yeah.
And had nothing to do with hertz or dirty power. Nothing affected it. So I said, the same reason I can't work on my truck anymore, it's the same. Like, I got a 14-inch screen in my truck, and there's days where it's just blank, and I have to pull over, turn my truck off, restart it, and it just clears everything out. Like, it's just different. Stuff's just different.
Yep.
So he's that guy. He's all up on me. He's trying to tell me all these things it's done. I can tell he's trying not to like throw them under the bus. I'm obviously there to represent them, so I'm not, and which is always an awkward situation. I'm on their side because they bought the product, but so keep that in mind. Here we're outside, and he just drenched this board, and it threw some kind of code and then shut off. So the other guy comes out of the crawl space, and he comes walking around. And he looked at me, and I'm just covered. Like, I'm covered in bleach and just shit. Although my whole right side is just black. And I got, like, khakis on and a damn, a quarter zip pullover. It's not good. He's like, oh, man. So I forgot what they call this guy, but we're going to call him Tebow. It's something. It's something Bo. Yeah, they're like
Thibodeau. Is that
it? Yeah. Punjab. I don't know. When I got there, they're like, hey, this is Mark, but we call him, Tebow, and I'm like, oh, okay. What's up, Tebow? So he's kind of the helper, right? He's got big old giant red beard. He's just a country boy, and he was like, what happened to you? And I'm like, well, you blew all this shit out on me. He's like, oh, man, dang, man. And I said, I'm not worried about me, bud. I'm worried about this unit right here. He goes, what? And I said, yeah, it all came out on the unit, and it shut off. He goes, oh, hell.
Mm-hmm.
About that time, here comes the homeowner.
Oh, boy.
He comes walking around because we've been out there too long and we have it reported back.
And he's like, what the hell happened to you?
So he's got the nitrogen with him, old Tebow. So I grabbed the nitrogen. I said, give me that nitrogen. And I got the hose and I said, turn it on. And I started blowing the board off. Homeowner comes up and he's like, what are you doing? I said, man, I'm just, some cobwebs and dust. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and clean this thing up. Now,
which that part was true, not a lie.
It's not a lie. And I'm also like, maybe I can dry this board out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm winging it. I'm trying to help these boys out. I mean, and they are sweating bullets, dude. This homeowner walks up like right beside them. And in their mind, this thing is not going to fire back up. And they don't know what they're going to do. So, also, these two are from the apartment division.
Oh.
So, they didn't put that in. They were just out there to be with me.
Yeah, they were who was available that day. Here, you go deal with this.
They're the apartment division, and I don't even need to go into that. Everybody knows what that is. So, anyway, I'm blowing off this board, and I said, all right, let's, I got to fire it up. I said, all right, let's put the disconnect back in here. And, dude, it fired up and ran like a champ.
Oof, there you go. Good job with that nitro.
Yeah. I mean, he drenched it, man. So old Tebow, I told him too when we were leaving, I said, I do a podcast and this is going on the podcast. He goes, oh man, don't do that to me, man. God.
Like, have you seen what you covered me in? It's happening to you.
And by the way, bleach is not the same bleach we grew up with. It didn't even bleach anything.
Clorox too?
I don't know what it is. It's
safe for
reek
colors.
of bleach, but the khakis are fine. Like they made it. So, yep. I said, "Oh, it's going on the show, man. It's going on the show. It has to."
Now, so where did it end up, or where did it leave off? Did we get homeowner at all satisfied, or is he still mad?
Well, so he was out there and it fired up, and I ramped it up and ramped it down, and he was complaining of his power bill, which I found on the stat that it was on kind of a comfort mode where it constantly pops the strips on, trying to. So what homeowners don't understand, and even a lot of techs, right? There's that there's that space between, let's say, 70 degrees on your stat, and when you click it to 71, right, there's a space between those.
Yep.
And that's a long way on a thermostat internally. To us, it's like click,
Yep.
click on, click off. But there's a big space there, right? Without getting into it too much, but if you put a thermostat on comfort mode, it's going to keep that ratio there a lot tighter. So a heat pump's not gonna, it's gonna run to close that gap. Heat strips pop on, closes the gap, boom, clicks off. So very similar to like a gas furnace, right? It just pops on, overheats, and shuts off. But
Yep.
so I was trying to explain that to him. He's like, well, but still, why was my bill high? I paid $10,000 for this Bosch. And I said,
Yep.
well, because your strips were coming on, especially on a cold day, so that it didn't run the outdoor long. I said, but the Bosch doesn't, we're out there pulling 3 or 4 amps. It's okay for it to run. So he said, okay. So I got him through that. I found that setting, turned that off. So that should help his power bill. And I literally couldn't find anything wrong. So I was like, yeah, flip the dip switch here and there. And he just wanted me out there to say, if this breaks, of course, he brought up lemon, right?
Oh, of course they do. They don't. I'll show you a lemon. I've had some lemons. That ain't no lemon.
He said, I think I have a lemon. I said, no, you actually have a heat pump. It's a. He did not think that was as funny as I did, but I said, no, it's not a lemon.
That's a T-shirt idea right there.
It's not a lemon. It's a heat pump. He was like, he didn't even crack a smile, and I was laughing. Those other 2 guys didn't know whether to laugh or look away or what. I said, come on, man. Jeez, tough crowd. I said, look, I'm a homeowner too, man. I get it. I said, but I'm here to find an issue. If I don't find an issue, then we have to just let it roll. But if I can't tell you that it's just not going to break when I leave here today. I mean, so yeah, the homeowners are they will chew up and spit out a damn green tech or a salesman more so now than ever, man. I mean, you got to stand your ground, because squeaky wheel gets the grease has always been around, but now he's like, look, I've been in the I forgot what industry the homeowner was in. It was like he worked for like a machine operator. Well,
those are the best.
He worked for like Caterpillar, right, or something like that. So he's like, I mean, I understand how some of these things work. I'm like, no,
you obviously don't.
I mean, Caterpillar's got a warranty on their products, If there's some brands out there, we rep a brand that's a lifetime warranty. That's depending on usually it doesn't involve anything electrical. I mean,
yeah.
You're not going to find anything electrical that's a lifetime. I don't think so. I mean, I've never come across it, but so yeah.
Actually, that's actually timeout. Product placement. Lifetime warranty on the Rector Seal RSH 50 surge protectors.
Really?
Yeah. Donnie talked about that during the show. I will grab the one behind me to double check. But
that is rare, though.
Very rare.
5 years is usually a lot for an electrical product.
Reach for the surge protector.
So yeah. So anyway, I mean, you got to stand your ground with the homeowner. I know their customer's always right, but they will push hard on you, and you gotta stand your ground. You got to be confident too. That helps.
Yep, right here. Lifetime warranty. RSH 50 surge protection device. Product code 96415. for all you Rector Seal fans out there. But yeah, lifetime warranty. So there are very few of those products out there, especially in the surge protection or electrical game.
So, speaking of that, man, we are rolling on the lead ups, roll ins.
Oh, we definitely are.
So he had two problems. He had two issues with the outside board. Like I said, above ground power coming to the house, super old house, but they did not have a surge protection on there on the initial install. So, every time the wind blows, something's going on with the house. I mean, the house is, like I said, built in the 50s. Power's not great there anyway. And when I used to do mini split classes, for a brand, I'm like, look, what is DC power, right? DC power is the same power on your trailer that you hook to your truck, and you can't ever get your lights to work. What do you usually have to fix? The ground, right? A lot of guys try to ground it to their trailer tongue, and it's painted, and their lights are flickering in and out. DC power is so heavily on ground. I mean, that's it. That is DC power. So, when you're talking about an inverter board that goes from AC to DC, and you got a house built in the 50s with shitty ground, or maybe the ground rod on the house is no longer there, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So when people are like, yeah, it's an old house, it doesn't have any ductwork, we got to put a mini splits in there. I'm like, make sure you've got good grounds and good power, or you'll just get intermittent codes. You know what I mean? You'll just get random shit going on. So yeah, always look at your power. If you've got screw in fuses, probably going to have some callbacks on the mini split or the inverter product.
I'm sure.
So yeah, upgraded service. That's why you're seeing a lot of companies now. They got electrical section and a plumbing section, right? Roll up to an old house. Oh, looks like you need a service upgrade, right? I mean,
yep.
Those older systems didn't care, but
no, but the further up the SEER and now SEER 2 ladder we are being pushed to go, the more important it is that your power and everything is taken care of, because these inverter products and these twin rotaries and all these more high-end pieces of gear are just so much more sensitive than they were before.
Yeah. And I get it. I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you, I wish I could train in the days of the piston, right? That would have been, and Rhydon would have, could have sold his ass off on some 10
I wouldn't know what
right?
to do with never having to worry about anything really breaking.
But we're just not there anymore.
No,
I mean,
not.
When guys say, man, why can't it just be a piston? Look, I get it. I mean, that would be awesome to train on. It'd be easy to work on, but we're just not there.
Yeah, we're not there anymore. We're not allowed to be.
Right. But then we put a sticker out that says beer can cold never gets old.
Because we appreciate nostalgia.
We appreciate a beer can being cold.
Absolutely. So,
right. So that's my rant. That was so far so good on that. Knock on wood.
Yes. So yeah, I've had my share of fun homeowners here recently as well. But yeah, I'll tell us one other quick little story before we get into some AHR promo stuff. So I've got a buddy of mine that he is a maintenance supervisor now for a group of apartment properties around here. So since you brought up apartment guys, that's what made me think of this dude. He grew up, was actually born here, but he kind of grew up out in Arizona and did most of his field work in any form of HVAC out there, but he also does all the other knickknacks, fixing stuff for the apartments. And they had a maintenance call the other day because there was water leaking into this first floor apartment. Now the apartment above him, or the apartment above it, was vacant. It had been repainted and it had been serviced by the previous maintenance person that had been there, because this guy's been with the company about maybe a year, but in the last 3 months, four technicians, including his boss, quit. So he was promoted. He now has a couple other guys that he's helping manage.
Nice.
But he has a lot of places that have had stuff serviced or changed or done in the last 3 months that he's never touched because he's never even been to that property.
Right.
So he was on this property this day, and he was responding to this maintenance call. So he's looking around. There's nothing in this person's department that is warranting why the water is coming into it, unless there's a problem in the vacant one that's recently been flipped above him. So he goes and opens the apartment above him, and he literally opens the door, and water just comes gushing out of this place.
God.
So at some point, when previous maintenance guy had worked on something in the mechanical room, now it's got, front return air handler over the top of the little water heater. As traditional built in the mid 80s apartment can get for that kind of stuff. And the sprinkler head is dumping water everywhere. There's there was water almost 3 feet deep in the mechanical room. He said, open the door and it just flooded out of there even worse.
Those sprinklers, they rip some water out, man.
So whoever had maintained this unit months prior had apparently worked on something on the duct board, of course, that runs it from the unit up through the attic. Well, when they were working on it, they actually left a hole the size of a fist behind this thing that's pointed directly at the sprinkler head.
Like in the supply plenum?
Yeah. So when they repainted the apartment, the painters turned the heat pump up all the way to like 90 degrees, trying to dry the paint faster.
God, I wouldn't think that would set that off.
Well, and that's what...
Well, I don't know what sets those off, actually.
Way. But anyway, it was cranking... It was close enough, I guess, to the heat strip. Because, that thing, where it's sitting above the water heater, the strip heaters at the top of it probably are not far from the sprinkler head that's in that mechanical room.
Well, I was going to say, on those, I don't know how many times our techs have set... I know there's somebody listening to this show that's done it. When you braze in those front returns, the line set comes on the top. And usually right where you need to put your head... That's where that sprinkler sits.
Yep.
So it's right there. It probably isn't a foot, if not even it's less than a foot from the plenum. Because I always remember, damn, my head, and those sprinklers have that funky little round piece that, just you hit your head on it, it cuts the shit out of you. But It's right there. So yeah, I can picture that.
So yeah, this thing is close enough to the heat strip that after a little while of that thing just ripping as hot as it could rip, it popped that freaking sprinkler head, and it was dumping water for days.
Oh my God. Well, glad they got it painted.
Yeah. So he's like, man, he said, you want to talk about just a holy freaking mess? I said, I'll have no doubt, dude. At least the apartment wasn't full of someone's stuff.
Right. Well, so we've done that. And our insurance had to cover it all, Also, why you have insurance for your company. But, yeah, we used to either try to put a rag around it or block it off. But one of our guys was brazen, and, dude, we used to put them front returns in 27th floor downtown condos. And, oh, my God. Nobody knows where the shutoff is. The poor installer is just wigging out. And we've had multiple of those where, somebody just forgot to tell him that day. Or hell, this guy may not have ever even put one in a condo, high rise. and the heat just in that little room sets it off. I don't know what it's got the little red mercury glass thing on the sprinkler. On the
I don't
head.
know what the pop temperature is though. That's a good question.
Yeah, just
There's
just
a guy
the heat
that,
in the
there's
room.
A, there's a guy that works for a sprinkler company that lives in my apartment complex. I should go leave a note on his truck.
Get him on the show.
That's not a bad idea either. I'm still
Have him on the
working
show. He'll crack a beer. We'll say, man, what sets those sprinkler heads off? What temperature? Oh, man, it's 120 degrees. All right, man, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks, man. We've been wanting to know that. You enjoy that beer, you can listen to us finish this thing. We're an HVAC podcast. Sorry.
Yeah. Trades podcast.
Yes, trade-focused podcast. We lean to the HVAC side, obviously, but no, we have great appreciation for all of our fellow tradesmen out there. Even though
Brittany's dad was a sprinkler guy.
It's true. I should have asked her. Good call. Remember that for AHR. We will ask her that question.
We're going to answer.
Can we phone a friend?
So listen, anybody that lays pipe. Yep. There's another. This show is full of sound bites. When you're running sprinkler pipe, which I think is either 1.5 or 2 inch. It might be 2 inch.
It's 2
I
inch.
think
It's
1.5 is the drops, right?
Yep, you're correct. And I remember that because I took a picture of a big old stack of pipe over where I saw the sprinkler system getting ready to go in recently.
When you put that in, because I used to work commercial framing, metal framing, and we had to be out there with the sprinkler guys. And I did drop ceilings, so I was always, just around them. But they're cranking on 2-inch pipe all day, every day. There's no other way to tighten pipe. Like Milwaukee, D-Wall, you have to wrench on the pipe. There's just there's never going to be a way to just hook something on the pipe. Well, I know they got Pro Press, but tightening it up, it's just elbow, man. Shoulders, elbows, but 2-inch, man, God, piping, tightening that all day, overhead, it's rough. It's a rough gig. It's a dirty job too, for sure. So
no,
power to them guys.
I was gonna say I couldn't imagine having to deal with that much black iron pipe, especially if you got stuck doing with it the way Cajun Joe made me deal with it, where you have to thread everything yourself. I wouldn't know what to do with the auto threader.
Well, that's what I learned on a rigid, tripod style.
That's it.
And
Cheers,
of course, we were running.
Where's my Rigid 100 beer, by the way, Rigid people? We've been talking about a custom beer on this show for like a year now. Rigid, you been listening and just not telling us?
Right.
Hmm?
Yeah, we got to get a beer. We got to get a R&D. Well, actually, we already have R&D brew.
That's true.
You can just kind of slide in there. It's already out there. Storm brew.
That's it. You got Storm Brew. What's it? What's the Mountaineer? Is it Mountain Brew? Because they make the private label one for Storm Brew, and then they make the one for the Demon Deacons and for App State.
R&D Brewing.
That's it. Out of Raleigh.
We have got to call them. And they're in North Carolina.
I know.
Anyway, all right.
We digress. So, AHR, which actually, I guess I should say Tactical Awards. 4-day countdown to the Tactical Awards.
Do we know where that's being streamed? Like, how do we...
It should all be through HVACtactical.com, I believe, is everything I've seen Ben say. Pretty sure. Okay. I know they've sent out some details, but there's still more stuff to come out. I know he's kind of starting to announce people that are doing category giveaways. I think my only thing that I wish he would have done differently, sorry, Ben, I'm going to call you out, but I'm going to talk to you about it at the show too. I wish when they had this submission process, instead of having to type in what category you were submitting someone for, I wish that you actually could pick it. Because
Yeah, you were telling me about that when we first.
Yeah, that was really the only thing that I wish would have been different on submission process, because I think that would have just made it a bit more streamlined, and probably for him too, because that way it would have just dropped in the bucket of what this is.
I feel like we didn't push ourselves enough on that. Right? Podcast of the year. I mean, you still got time.
We still got time, but this is also, I don't want to win it because I campaigned to win for it. I want people.
That's a good point.
I want people to. I want to be. I want to be surprised that I win it, because I always want us to be pushing to be better and have a better show and a funner show. But also, we want people to have a little bit of everything.
Right.
That live, laugh, love, learn a little bit. Live, laugh, learn. Is that what we were talking about last night?
Live, laugh, learn. Yeah.
That was a very fun time. Dinner with HVAC R&D and the ladies of HVAC R&D dinner last night. Have a little planning session. Closing out January, getting ready for AHR. Had a good time.
Trade wife and HVAC wifey 1.
That's right. Well, actually, no. She's got an underscore in there, though, right? I think it's HVAC underscore wifey 1, correct?
Yep.
But
when you look up HVAC wifey just in search, I don't think but 2 or 3 pop up. Just look for the one with the Mustang on it. By the way, that's not my Mustang, unfortunately. I do get to work on it, which I enjoy.
Oh, yeah. You did change the wing. Changed the wing this weekend.
We added a wing and X-pipe and cold air intake.
I thought you'd already done the pipes, though.
Well, we did do the pipe, but I've never posted it.
Hey, he did the pipe. It's him.
Yeah.
Laying pipe, doing pipe. It's all about pipe.
So
Sure you're not a plumber.
I've done a lot of plumbing. The cold air intake. Yeah, I got 2 kids, bud. I mean,
laying a lot of pipe.
God. The cold air intake. So we pulled off all the stock stuff. Dude, that thing adds 17 horsepower. The X-pipe adds about 20-ish. So Tracy's pushing 500 now, man. It's 460 stock.
I think the Stinger, I'm pretty sure the Stinger was like 362 stock, because it's a GT1.
Which is a lot out of that. What's that motor in that thing?
It's a...
Is it a V6?
It's a V6 twin turbo.
Yeah.
24 dual overhead cam. Oh, that thing's mean.
Oh, when it's I've actually never ridden in one of those.
Dude, it's comfy. The back seat's even more comfortable than the front seat. No joke.
No, Tracy's car is not comfy.
That's what's crazy about Kristen's car. It is stupid comfortable just about anywhere you sit.
So when we did Corey's audition, we drove up to App State. Good 2-hour drive. We took the Mustang. Corey's like, let's take the Mustang. I'm like, all right.
It's like, Corey, what did you have to do? Open up the trunk and lay your tall ass from the trunk to the front seat?
So I drove up, and then he drove back. And coming down the mountain, hopefully Tracy's not listening to this. I don't know if she listens to this or not. Dude, Corey was ripping it down the mountain, man. It's a 10-speed automatic, but it knows you're going down. Like, it knows you're... It just starts gearing down. Bah, bah, And we hit the straightaway. I'd look over there. It's clear. It's free and clear in front of us. He romps on it. I look over there. It ain't nothing for that thing to hit 95, 100, man. And I'm like, all right, bud. All right. That's good. That's good. He's like, man, I need one of these bad.
You're like, no, you don't.
No, you don't. You can get one, and then the insurance is in your name. You will pay for that.
Man, talk about that. When we were at the sales meeting, guys were talking about a lot of their kids starting to drive in the last couple of years. And they were talking about how much insurance was just throwing rates through the roof in Georgia, because kids couldn't do the actual ride along with the state trooper. The state trooper had to just sign off on stuff. So they were jacking rates to the roof because they didn't have true ride alongs.
Well, in South Carolina, where I'm at, it's required.
Yeah. Well, and it was in Georgia, and they didn't have a choice but to, start passing around it.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's there's also a lot of courses out there you can put your kid in, which is good to do anyway, but and it drops your insurance a lot. I mean, Corey's in a 4-cylinder, 5-speed Mazda pickup on some
It looks
liability.
pretty sweet, by the way.
Yeah. He wants to put well, we will put a 5.0 in that. That'll be some good Instagram content. Yeah. As soon as he gets to a point in college where, I got a nice little shot we can put it in. We're gonna put the 5.0 in it. He'll have to have something. He wants a Subi. He wants his daily driver to be a little Subaru, which are sneaky good cars, man. They're quick too. They're not cheap though.
No, Subarus have a pretty solid track record of long-term service.
Right.
I will say that. And especially, where he's going to school, the Forester or the Outback is like right up your alley.
Dude, he's not getting that. He wants a
No, he wants the WRX.
Yeah. Which he's always liked that car, and I'm like, well, that's kind of funny. You're going to App State. Like, everybody up there drives a Subaru.
Which was my point.
All-wheel drive. I know. Yeah,
he should get... Don't they make like a racing edition of a Forester or something? Get like a Turbo Forester and slap WRX stickers all over it.
Slap some HVAC R&D stickers all over it.
That's it.
All right, so...
Yeah, AHR.
I know this is a little teaser. Well, I want you to real quick talk about, I know we mentioned on the show, but our vendor hub.
Yes. So you guys will hear, I guess, kind of the full rundown of some things at AHR, depending on which way we end up steering that conversation. Because as you know, we're keen to go off-road from time to time.
Yep.
But so our website, which is being built by One Thing Marketing, we're very grateful for them helping us with that. It took us several months of kind of looking around, and then out of nowhere, Brittany found us, and kind of the rest was history. But you'll see now if you go to hvacrnd.com, the landing page is up. You can join the mailing list there. You'll get a little bit of a snapshot of kind of what's coming with the website. You'll also see a coming soon vendor hub announcement. And for us, what we wanted to do is, every manufacturers have it, some distributors have it. They've got this preferred, place where they go and send people to do this or that. But it's always geared toward just them. And there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. They're building stuff for their brand, and that's how it is. Well, we're building stuff for the HVAC R&D brand, but we want things, and we want to educate people on things that we truly believe could help you better yourselves personally, better yourselves professionally, as well as, potentially better your business in your future. And there's a million different places that are going to sell you, this is the snake oil for this is the, the snake oil for this is what will fix this. But at the end of the day, that also, there's a million of those companies that do the exact same thing.
Right.
So what we really wanted to do was work with other companies and kind of vet stuff that we truly believe will help you personally, professionally, or help your business, or help the company you work for. And we want you guys to have a truly unbiased, as much as possible, access to things like that we think would help you. And if it gives you an extra discount, that's awesome. Because we also know that a lot of things in this business, they ain't free and they ain't cheap.
Right.
But what is free, even though it's not cheap, but what is free is caring about your fellow technicians, your fellow tradespeople, your fellow business owners, your fellow podcasters, all of us that are in this community together. And we wanted to build a place where we could truly help support that community with positive tools for your future. That's what the Vendor Hub is about, truly. And that's what we want it to be about. There's going to be things in there where you can get a discount. There's going to be things in there where you can get help with marketing ideas or different things. We're working on some other things to have, some outside help with personal development. So there's a lot of other things that are coming.
There's going to be some training links in there where if we have a Vendor Hub partner, let's say it's Rector Seal, right? Let's just say Rector Seal's in there. There'll be you could go click on some links and get some training on any of their products, right? Just take you right to it.
Yep.
We're trying to drive everything to the website where it's all on one. I'm pumped about the Vendor Hub. That's, if you're listening to the show, whether you're an owner, I know a lot of podcasters out there. It's business development, right? There's a lot of HVAC, podcasts out there, and look, we're all doing the same thing. Me and Rhydon try to offer, honestly, I listen to a lot of podcasts and I say, okay, that's cool. That guy talks about that. That's sweet. Okay, this one talks about this. What can we do to fill in gaps that they didn't talk about, right?
Correct.
It's not trying to be better than them. It's just filling in the gaps. So because a lot of our listeners, right, they're listening to HVAC Know-It-All. They listen to Brian Orr. I mean, You're not going to get a bunch of technical from me. I'm a technical guy, but I'm going to give you something else to listen to.
Yeah,
right?
You want to talk about compressors? You go listen to Trevor.
Right.
Just
Trevor,
go.
Yeah.
Refrigeration Mentor. Go listen to Trevor.
Right. We're promoting all those folks.
Yeah,
we are. I mean, but the hub is where, okay, these are people that we've had on the show or we've talked to. If you're thinking about looking into Service Titan, go to the Vendor Hub. There's you some discounts, right?
Yep. Go schedule you a demo. Talk to them about it. And we spent a lot of time on the phone. With those guys, I did multiple Zoom meetings talking with them back and forth. Because, on the distribution side, I don't really get to see a lot of how Service Titan and some of these other things works. And I said, guys, here's the difference. I said, there's going to be plenty of people that are just going to be like, yes, we'll promote your stuff because you might pay us. Well, that's great. I don't want to go and promote something if I don't think it's going to add any value to somebody. Right. That's just, we none of us have all the time in the world. We have, we want to be able to trust and go to places that other people think will really help us, but also have proven that they'll help people.
We'd love to be sponsored by Modelo, but I just don't think it's going to help you that much.
You'll feel good.
It could. That was a bad example.
Very bad example. I'm still waiting on my Lululemon partnership. Where's that at?
Oh, yeah.
Where's my free joggers?
Oh, if we're gonna put Lululemon podcast pants on our website, they're gonna have to come out strong on.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we digress. Don't want to give away all of that about the Vendor Hub, but that's what it's for, guys. We want you guys to have a place you can go and trust that things you're looking at to help you, are good things.
Right.
And that's not me saying other places aren't bad. But, we've spent time talking to these different companies because they'll reach out to us and I'll say, well, that's cool, but you're going to have to show me some proof of what it can and can't do and why I should even tell guys it's a good idea.
Me and Rhydon have a job, right? We work every day for a living. We're on this podcast at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night because I'm trying to get back for one. And so is he. And I'm not putting a product on here that I can't back as a technician. I can't do it. I've always said if you can't sell something you don't believe in. There's just no way. I mean there is some salesmen out there that can pull that off, but all right, you want to take us through real quick on the podcast or the AHR schedule?
Yeah, we'll run through the AHR schedule real quick in a couple of minutes, and then we'll get off of here, and we'll see you guys.
I do have a
Atlanta.
Jobin.
Oh, okay. So yeah, let me get through this AHR stuff so we can get to Jobin. I'm excited to hear this.
It's weird that we don't ever get any DMs about Jobin.
I know.
He's a mysterious dude, but
he is.
I feel like somebody would say something about him.
You would think. So
I think everybody knows who he is, but
maybe.
Yeah.
So, well, like I said, we've got Tactical Awards on Sunday night, so make sure to watch the live stream if you're not going, if you've got the time. Also, I'm sure we'll be sending out some social media posts while we're there. Our good friend Miss HVAC Ash will be hosting the red carpet. So we definitely will have a lot of stuff to talk about with her on Monday. Now, if you're going to AHR on Monday, our first stop will be at the RLS booth at 11. Following that, we will be at Rhydon Family of Brands at 12. Actually, I should have probably mentioned the booth numbers. RLS is C6463. Rhydon is B2219.
Bingo.
Yep.
Sorry.
Bingo.
I've been wanting to do that ever since you started calling all this shit out.
Nice. So, and then we'll have a little bit of time in the middle. We might make a trip over to Solderweld for a little bit to check on our buddy, the HVAC doctor, and some of our other friends that are over there. And then at 3 o'clock in the meet and greet section, which is by the beer garden between the two podcast pavilions. So come see us with Global the Source from 3 to 4. And then here's where you guys get the real details. I know Ash said it a couple of days ago on her stories, but the first 50 people that get to the meet and greet will get a free Turbo Mini, as well as, I believe, a Global the Source hat. You also will be getting a 2-ounce jar of the famous Cajun Joe's Bayou Spice.
Oh, there it is.
It's out. We've been holding this one back, and we've had people talking about Cajun Joe, my dad's seasoning that we talk about all the time. Well, first 50 people that get there on Monday, you're getting your own jar of it to go enjoy.
Yep, and you can put that shit on everything.
That is the truth.
I stole that one. That's all right.
It's true. It's true. So you get some Cajun Joe's Bayou Spice, and then we will take it to the stage around 4 o'clock, do some sweet intro music, get our friends Miss HVAC Ash and Lady Katie onto the stage. Mr. Mark Rickberg, the VP of Sales for Global The Source, we're working on dragging into this.
I think he can be a crowd floater. He can just float around the crowd.
Yeah, we'll make him step up to the crowd mic and ask questions. We'll sit there and heckle him until he has to.
There we go.
We'll make it work. Actually, Katie will probably heckle him until he has to. We'll let her take care of it. We don't have to worry about nothing.
If he's got any sense, he probably shouldn't even show up to this one.
Probably. But hey, you know what? Most of us in this profession have 0 sense anyway.
Right.
That's why we're in it. So
0 cents left.
Yep. So that's the first of the 5 o'clock somewhere session shows from 4 to 6 p.m. in Podcast Pavilion A. Since they've called it 1 and 2 forever, but then when they put the map out, it's A and B. So I apologize. I'm trying to get my vernacular straight as we go into this. So Podcast Pavilion A from 4 to 6. And then on Tuesday, please make sure to come see us with our good friends at Rector Seal, which is B2029, B2029. Any takers?
Bingo.
No bingo. There it is. Bingo. We're going to be talking with multiple people. Our buddy Bob is who we're talking to, I believe, for the majority of the show. We're going to be talking about mini split advantages or mini split products from Rector Seal, such as the Mighty Bracket, which we will be giving away a Mighty Bracket while we were there. So do not miss your chance to get that bad boy. Talk about saving the back.
That's pretty solid.
That's a solid one right there. We potentially will have some other giveaways at that part of that show. Like I said, it's going to be kind of an informal walk-up style of a show, so we'll be talking and recording, but we'll also have some crowd interaction as we go. We're not sure if we're gonna have a table down or a pop-up something, so you guys see us standing out there in front of everybody, but you will know we're there. Don't worry. And then after that, at 3 o'clock, back to Podcast Pavilion A with Brittany from One Thing Marketing, where you'll get a little bit more about the vendor hub, kind of get some more of the nuts and bolts of what it's like to work with those guys as well, if you're considering doing some things with your website or your marketing. Because one of the things that when we started, building a relationship with them is I said, look, guys, same thing I've said to other people. There's no way I can tell people that they should consider working with you if I don't understand how you would work with those people. So you got to work with me first.
Right.
And I will tell you from the beginning, working with Brittany and then working with Evan and Sandra, the people or their team members we've been assigned with, has been awesome.
Oh, they're very professional.
Yes. And I mean, anything that we've needed or wanted questions asked, they have been Johnny on the spot, taking care of any changes or anything we wanted to discuss with them. So I can't thank them enough for making it easy to do business with them. So come and listen to Brittany from 3 to 4. Following that, we go straight to a meet and greet over by the beer garden from 4 to 5. And here's where the giveaway continues. I know we talked about it briefly on the show last week, but we will be giving away HVAC R&D shot glasses. Here you go.
Hey.
HVAC R&D shot glasses to the first 50 people at that meet and greet, as well as you will be registering for a drawing, which is a $250 Omaha steak package, as well as a very, very nice bottle of bourbon. And once we announce the winner of that, everything will get shipped to you. So we'll take care of all of that. But it also helps, get you guys set up to know when the Vendor Hub stuff is launching, as well as have some information from Miss Brittany and her team. And when we conclude that meet and greet, it is over to Podcast Pavilion B, because, we got to hit both of them at least once.
Right.
And we will be joined by 2 members of Red Seal Inc., co-founder, the HVAC Doctor, as well as the VP of Shenanigans, Mr. HVAC J604.
Yep.
We will be doing some giveaways during that show.
Finally, another bald guy on the show.
Yes. There you go. But we'll be doing some live giveaways at that show of some Rector Seal product, as well as, after a conversation today, we should be doing some solder weld giveaways as well.
Sweet.
Since our buddy HVAC Doctor is set to be the face of the next solder weld campaign for 2023. Block with the doc. Yep, blocking with the doc. And then Wednesday, closing it all out. So beginning that morning, we're doing the ACA student tours. I know we've talked about that a few times. We talk about wanting to give back. One of the best ways we know how to do that is try to help involve these next future potential generations of tradesfolk. So we're going to spend some time with them. Also, after speaking with Miss Nicole Bush, there is going to be a sticker bucket drop somewhere in the Podcast Pavilion. And all of those stickers that are being dropped in there are going to go back to ACCA with the students so that they can make a massive sticker wall.
That is sweet.
So if you want your stickers on their wall, come and drop them in the Podcast Pavilion. If we learn anything about where that is the first couple of days, I will throw it on our stories and announce it so you guys know where to drop them.
Yeah.
So don't forget that. And then we have a meet and greet from 11:30 to 1 back by the beer garden. And then we have a 3 to 4 closing ceremony show, which we want everybody that is left in AHR, get your butts over to the Podcast Pavilion from 3 to 4, and let's shut this place down the right way.
Right?
The way HVAC R&D
Are we the
does.
last show?
So there is another 3 to 4 in Podcast Pavilion B, but hopefully we can make it rowdy enough that maybe they want to come hang out with us. That is the plan.
Oh, is it at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I can't remember who it is. I'll go plug them so that I can be fair real quick. But yeah, so closing ceremony show from 3 to 4 in Podcast Pavilion A. And let's see who's over in B. So that is going to be Chris. I'm not sure who Chris is. Sorry, everybody, but I'm not sure who that is.
Rhydon.
It just it literally says Chris. It says 3 to 4 Chris.
All right.
So,
well,
Chris, if you're listening, you're more than
sorry
welcome.
for the loud music.
Yeah, sorry for the loud music, but we're going to have a good old time over in Pavilion A, and we're going to make that AHR bar tab hurt. They might.
And it was not our idea to put the beer garden at the Podcast Pavilion. Just
no, that was all Nicole. Go back to episode 81, and that's all on her.
Yeah,
God love
I'm just
her.
going ahead and
we might not get invited back after the party we throw over there. But come and see us. Have a good time with us. You know, if you're a vendor at AHR and you hadn't had a chance to come listen to a show, get out of that booth. Come listen to us from 3 to 4. We'll be talking about all the fun we've had, all the people we got to meet. I don't even want to get started on the amount of people I'm happy to meet, because that's another hour and a half of a show. So I'm not even going to go down that.
Yeah, the tactical awards, man. I just don't even know what to think. Like, that we got invited to that, I'm pumped. That's going to be... It's all installers. It's all people out there grinding it out, you know? I can't wait. And I also want to show off the tie that I bought. But anyway.
Yes. So I guess
Jobin.
it's time for Jobin. Yeah.
It is Jobin. Do you remember the last time? So I think we left him in the bathroom.
We did.
And he had the itchy booty. He had, well, no, he didn't have any toilet paper, and he had to use the hand dryer.
Yes.
Which is a horrible idea.
Yep, not a fan.
All right. Let's do Jobin.
Hi, Dennis. This is Jobin. I just want to let you know that I made it out of that bathroom alive. I am, in fact, alive, which you could tell by me talking to you, I guess. But being stuck in that bathroom was kind of like a blessing in disguise, because I was in there and I had an epiphany. I was thinking to myself, why do humans need toilet paper?
This will be good.
When dogs don't need it, or cats, or leopards. They don't use toilet paper. You never see a cheetah out in the wild using toilet paper. However, we use toilet paper, and what does toilet paper do? It clogs your toilet. Well, it hit me. I'm going to go buy me a couple plungers, and I'm going to go into business unclogging toilets. I'm not going to charge by the hour. I'm going to charge by the pumps. So if I have to pump that toilet, 1 pump, 2 pump, 3 pumps, that's going to be a certain rate, and every pump after that will be discounted.
Oh.
And I think I'm going to be so busy, I'm going to need to use that chirp, because I'm going to be too busy. I think I'm going to make a lot of money off of this.
Chirp
and
plug.
I wish you guys would call me back sometime. I don't think you've ever called me back. It makes me feel like you don't like me. I know that you'll be calling me whenever I make my millions, because you'll be wanting to swim in my pool. I know how much you like to swim in the pool. You're going to want to swim in my pool even when it's 40 degrees outside, because it'll be heated. I'll have heaters in it.
I was still going to say
anyway,
heated.
My time is coming. You just wait. Hope you guys are doing good. Bye.
Oh, my God. Classic Jobin. 1 pump, 2 pump. Well, at least it's
more.
discounted after that.
Well, what's the price for pump 1, 2, and 3?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to.
And how many more pumps do you have to go until you run out of discount? You just divide it by that number and just go.
That's got to be the greatest chirp plug ever.
I'm sure that was what Ryan envisioned when he reached out to us, wanting to talk about his product.
Oh, yep. He's gonna have so many calls. He's gonna need chirp.
So if you go and check out the vendor hub, the vendor clog, the vendor hub, you can get a discount on your first 3 months of using Chirp. So I'll throw that one out there. You can.
What episode is Chirp?
Dadgummit, you would ask me that off the top of my head.
God, I thought you just had all that spread out.
Yeah, literally, I'm sitting at this massive table. Let's not talk about that. Don't be judging.
I could probably just swipe on Spotify.
Yep, you could.
Anyway, Chirp is that's a killer service that I wish we'd have had when I was in the field.
Yeah, no joke. Episode 79, the bird is the word. Because, Chirp. All right. Yep. See what I did there?
I can't wait to see what this episode is going to be titled. Don't tell me.
That is usually one of the most interesting thought processes of my week.
Yep. And I don't know what the title of the show is going to be until it comes out, so I see it when you guys see it.
Which is also one of my favorite parts of the week.
I do like that. I'm pumped about that. If I'm in the car with all my kids and it's past 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm like, wait, we got to put on Spotify and see what the podcast title is. All right, so next time you hear from us, it'll be a live show, recorded live show.
Yep.
From AHR.
Man, I feel like these next 4 days are going to take forever to go by.
I know. A lot of content coming, obviously, on Instagram.
Yep, and we'll probably have months of content to continue plugging and regurgitating following that, because there's no way in hell we're going to get everything up while we're there. So,
I'll get next Friday an episode's coming out.
It's coming out.
Going to be AHR of something.
Absolutely.
Well, then we'll put them out.
Then you might start getting you might start getting double episode Fridays for a month. Holy crap! What are you gonna do with that? Dennis is like, no, I'm not doing 2 in a week. No.
So we got some techs coming up. We got some installers coming up. If you once again, hey, crawl space confessions.
Yep.
Something's happened to you open. Crazy. If you've been sprayed with bleach and from a P-trap, send it to us. We'll put it on the show.
That's it. So,
all right.
We appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you live very, very soon.
See you. No peace.
Peace.
I want to spend some time with you. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try.